Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, and today we are going to be discussing the underhood compressor mount from CA Tuned. We're going to talk about who this product's probably for and who it's not for, and I'm going to give you a brief demonstration on how to install this. Now, if this is your first time here, I want to say thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel. There are plenty of videos about vehicles on this channel. Please take a look around, find something that you like. If this video is helpful for you, I would appreciate a like and a share or just a comment. Let me know that you're watching. And this video is sponsored by Adventure Rig Shop. Adventure Rig Shop is where you can find this product as well as a host of additional products for your Subaru Outback Wilderness. In the description, you will find a link to sign up for my weekly newsletter, something a way for me to connect with you on a more creative basis. If you're into that sort of thing, cool. If not, that's fine too, as well as a link to a Facebook group that I started for all things Subaru Wilderness. It doesn't matter what kind of Subaru Wilderness you have. We would love to have you as part of that group. It's a cool way to connect and just to be able to talk to other people. It's a relatively small group, so you can get your questions answered on products that you might be interested in or questions about install, all of that good stuff. All right, so let's hop into the CA Tuned underhood compressor mount. Let's talk about the install. Let's talk about if it's for you or if you can probably pass on this subject. And then we'll get into all the specifics that you need to know before you make a purchase. Okay, so first things first, what is it? Well, the CA Tuned underhood compressor mount is exactly as it sounds. It's a mount that goes underneath the hood of your Subaru Outback Wilderness that holds a single ARB compressor. If you're new to the off-road world or you're new to overlanding and this whole thing is kind of out of your purview, the reason for a compressor simply is to air up your tires when you get off of a trail. And the reason you would air down your tires is for a smoother ride over rocky terrain. It also allows your tire to have more surface area, which gives you more traction in the event that you do take your vehicle off-road, whether that's mud, sand, or rocks. So that's the simplest way that I could probably put this for anybody who is considering getting a compressor. Now, the underhood compressor mount for people that are more of the enthusiast mindset, the people that take their cars off-road a lot or that go overlanding regularly, maybe like the weekend warrior type, or if you're going on weeks-long or months-long trips in your Subaru Outback Wilderness, it's nice to have a compressor underneath your hood because all you have to do is pop your hood, plug in your air chuck, and you can air up your tires with a click of a button. So it's not something that everybody needs. And I have many, many trips gone without a compressor attached to my vehicle. I had a simple 12-volt compressor that I plugged into a cigarette lighter. I pumped up my tires. Yes, it takes longer to do that. No, it's not as convenient, but it is far less expensive to do that. And if you're not traveling all the time in your car and foresee yourself needing a compressor attached to your vehicle and wired directly to your car all the time, then maybe it's not for you. But for the rest of us, it is something that is extremely convenient to have in the it's just so nice. Being able to air up your tires in about a minute and 10 seconds, a minute and 15 seconds per tire. That depends on how far you air them down. A question that I have gotten asked a lot is, what do you air your tires down to? In the Subaru Outback Wilderness, I go to between 18 and 20 in the rear and between 15 and 18 in the front. And that all depends upon the load that I'm carrying, how many people are in the car. So it kind of changes, but I will always be between 15 and 20, both in the front or the rear. That's kind of like the sweet spot for me. Maybe that will work for you. Now, the install of the air compressor is really, really, really easy. There are 2 bolts on the top hat of your passenger side strut. They come out the top of the vehicle, and you take two of them off and you slide the compressor mount on. Now, the part that's really tricky to show you is there is a bolt that is on the left side, on the passenger side, but you kind of have to like reach around some cooling lines or some tubing to get to it, and all you have to do is loosen that bolt up. Once you loosen that bolt up, your compressor simply slides directly onto the top hat bolts, and it also slides behind that other bolt. You tighten everything back down, and it is installed. When you order the compressor mount, the compressor comes pre-installed on the compressor mount. So you don't have to worry about installing it. It comes pre-installed. And I've also been asked a lot, can you get the compressor without the mount? The answer is no. You must buy the compressor and the mount at the same time. That may be kind of annoying to some people. I get it. If you already have a compressor laying around your garage, you probably don't want to have to buy another one. That's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I just have to play by them. So I'm here kind of just conveying this message to you. Now, the wiring is technical. It's not technical. The wiring of the compressor is not technical. But when you get the compressor itself, it has all kinds of wires, all kinds of them. And that's because these compressors are used for air lockers. They're used for a lot of other things than just airing up tires. So it's going to look relatively confusing. I'm going to tell you how I wire up my compressors. And if you're an electrician or you're an electrical engineer, you're an automotive electrician, you're going to hate what I'm saying. And don't listen to it if you don't want. I don't care. But there's a lot of relays. I don't know if there's a lot. I know there's at least one relay, and the relay is important, but I cut the relay off. I run the power and the ground, and I keep everything behind the fuse that comes attached to your ARB compressor. I wire the ground to my battery. I wire the power to my aux beam 6-gang switch controller. I'll put the link to that in the description as well, in case you never heard of it. And that's it. That's all I do. And when I need to turn it on, I turn it on. That fuse is what protects the component from any type of an electrical surge. I know the relays serve a purpose. I have wired every single compressor in every single vehicle that I've ever had for the past 5 or 6 years this way. And I have never a single time had a problem. So, for what that's worth, it's totally up to you. You may think I'm an idiot. I don't really care. That's what I do, and it works, and it's super simple, and it's just never had a problem. So if you're looking to wire it, I would suggest bringing the power and the ground off of the compressor, and I kind of have mine tied up a little bit, zip tied to where the one switch that they send with the compressor mount would go. I don't use that because I never use switches that are sent to me from anybody. I always use my own switches and my switch controller. And then there are little sections just underneath the windshield, and it's like where the little rain gutter is from the hood. They have little tabs in them that you can pop out, and you can zip tie your wires and power and ground all the way over to where the battery is. That's what I do every single time. Then I pop the plastic cover that is on the driver's side. I pop that off, and I run my wires back behind. I zip tie everything up really nice, try to keep it super clean, and then I connect it to my battery for the ground, and then I connect it to my auxiliary controller, just the power. That's all I do, and I'm done. This install will take you no more than 30 minutes. And that's probably with the wiring. If you've done it before, I'll give you an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half if you've never done it before. It's a very simple, it creates a seamless process. Now, you may ask, well, what if I don't want a compressor mount that's mounted to my car? Cool, I get it. I will put 2 links for compressors that I've personally used and that I personally still have in my garage that you can purchase that's plugged directly into your 12-volt cigarette outlet, and it will work and it'll pump up your tires. I think one of them's like $100. I've had it for 5 years. I've had it in every vehicle. I've used it hundreds of times and it still hasn't broken. Yes, it takes a while to pump up your tires, but if we're not worried about speed, we're just worrying about cost and efficiency, that's the way to go. So that is my simple video for today. If you guys like it, share it, comment on it, come along, subscribe to the channel so you can see more adventures, all of that fun stuff. I hope that you get a compressor. Links in the description if you would like to order one. If not, there are links for the other compressors that may suit your style just a little bit better. I'll see you on the next one.